Good day, viewers. My name is Uncle K, Uncle Kayode from A Plus Model School. Today we'll be looking into basic science and technology. On this, we want to look into the topic safety. I repeat, safety. On this, we'll be looking into the meaning of safety, causes and prevention of accidents in the workshop. On our next slide, we have the objective of the lesson. Pupils should be able to explain 1. The meaning of safety. 2. The causes of accidents. 3. Prevention of accidents in the workshop. To start with, we have the meaning of safety. What is safety? Safety is the absence of accidents in the use of machines and tools in the workshop. I repeat, safety is the absence of accidents in the use of machines and tools in the workshop. Now, what are the causes of accidents in the workshop? We have various causes of accidents in the workshop. We are made to understand that accidents do not just happen in the workshop. They are caused by 1. That is, the alphabet A says unsafe human conditions can cause accidents. And what are these unsafe human conditions? Roman figure 1, carelessness. Carelessness can be seen or can be said to be a state of being careless with tools and equipment in the workshop, which is not expected of any workers to be. Woman figure 2, drug abuse. What do we mean by drug abuse? Drug abuse simply means the abuse of drugs. That is, the wrong use of drugs in a bad way is not expected in the laboratory or workshop. Example, smoking of cigarettes. Roman figure 3, fatigue. A fatigue is a state of distress or imbalance in the body system. That is, for example, maybe you are feeling headache. You are not expected to work in the workshop. You are expected to go and take care of yourself and come back to the work. Maybe you have some severe pain in your body, or you are not feeling too well. All you need to do is to excuse yourself from the work and treat yourself to get better for the work. Roman figure 4, improper dressing. On this, ceremonial dressings are not expected to be worn in the workshop. You are not expected to wear a party dress in the workshop or a wedding gown in the workshop. You are expected to put on the appropriate workshop clothes, which can be apron, headgears, shoes, and so on and so forth. Roman figure 5, inexperience and bad use of equipment. This simply means you have to be an expert in handling the tools and equipment in the workshop so as to avoid accidents or dangers in the workshop. Lastly on this, that is one of the causes of accidents in the workshop, we have unsafe environmental conditions. Now, what are the unsafe environmental conditions in the workshop? 1. Bad lighting. Bad lighting. Bad lighting can be explained in the sense that A dim light is not expected to be used in the workshop. That is, a dull light, a light that you cannot see through an object, should not be used in the workshop. You rather use a bright light in the workshop, or a white light that can reflect on objects and machines clearly. 2. Roman figure 2. Bad ventilation. Bad ventilation has to do with how gaseous particles or waste products can escape from the laboratory or workshop so as to avoid affecting people's life negatively. Because if the gaseous particles or waste products that are supposed to be expelled or that are supposed to leave the laboratory or workshop are not leaving, they can reflect negatively on the workers' health. So, and this can cause an accident. So therefore, it is advised that you have a proper cross ventilation in your workshop or in the workshop or laboratory so as to avoid this. Roman figure 4. Noisy place. A workshop is not a party, so you are not supposed to make noise, or you are not expected to make noise in the workshop. Roman figure 5. Slippery floor. Banana peels and other fruit peels or any slippery substances are not expected to be dropped on the floor of the workshop so as to avoid falling of workers. Roman figure 6. Overcrowding. Overcrowding simply means when a place is too many of people. That is, when there are too many people in a particular enclosement or in a particular enclosed area than it can contain. So this can be termed overcrowding. So a workshop is not expected to have more than it can contain as people in it. Roman figure 7. Poor maintenance. That is, when machines and tools are not properly maintained, this can lead to accidents in the workshop. When they are not properly maintained the way they should, it can lead to accidents in the workshop. Roman figure 8, which is the last point on the second causes of accidents in the workshop. Faulty machinery. What do we mean by this? That is, when machines are faulty, it is expected of the operators to take it to the engineers for its repair so as to avoid dangers. Other sources of accidents are electric or mechanical equipment shock, fire or explosion. That is, there could be fire or explosion in the laboratory. There could be electric or mechanical equipment shock. That is, when someone is electrocuted by light or current flowing through a copper wire. So a copper wire is not supposed to be naked in the workshop so as to avoid contacting it by any of the workers in the workshop. On our next slide, we have the prevention of accidents in the laboratory. That is, What are the rules and regulations that are put in place to avoid these accidents? Safety rules and regulations should be designed as based on years of experience of its good practice and safe systems of work. The following stated rules and regulations in the laboratory or workshop should be followed properly so as to avoid accidents in the laboratory. 1. Do not touch any equipment, chemicals or other materials in the laboratory until you are told to do so. This simply means that when you get to the laboratory, you have to follow simple instruction. You have to follow the instructor to instruct you on how to use the machines, or you need to wait for him or her to tell you to start using the tools or equipment. Point number 2, do not eat food, drink beverages or chew gum in the laboratory. I think this is understandable. That is, you are not expected to eat food or drink any beverages or drinks or chew gum in the laboratory. Point number 3, do not use laboratory glassware as containers for food or beverages. You can imagine a glassware where an acid has been poured or where an acid has just been used, and you went ahead and pour your food inside of it. What will happen? That is an hazardous effect on the person that tries that. Point number 4, know the locations and the operations of all safety equipment, which include the first aid kit, fire extinguisher, and fire blanket. Also, know where the fire alarm and exits are located. In all laboratories, there is always a presence of this laboratory safety equipment, that is first aid kit, fire extinguisher, fire blanket. Then fire alarm is to notify the people who are in charge of defense of any outburst in the laboratory or workshop. Then the exit is for you to every laboratory or workshop, there is always a particular safe exit that you can pass through when there is a cause for that. Like the first aid, you have to know where the first aid is, where when you have an injury, and so on and so forth. Point number 5, be alert and proceed with the caution at all times, and the laboratory or at the laboratory or workshop. That is, be alert and proceed with the caution at all times in the laboratory or at the workshop. You can contact experts immediately of any unsafe condition you observe. That is, when you observe any unsafe condition, you have to contact the experts in the laboratory to help you out on how to get safe. Then you take caution. On each and every equipment, there is always a caution label on it that do not use this or do not do that, do not do this. So you have to follow all those cautions. Point number 6, keep hands away from your face, eyes, mouth and body while using chemicals. That is, when you use chemicals like acid in the laboratory, you have to keep your hand away from your face so as to avoid burns or the corrosive chemical to affect your skin. On this page, we have examples of the safety equipment that can be present in the laboratory. We have the first aid kit, we have the fire extinguisher, we have the fire alarm. On our next slide, we have the point number 7 on how to prevent accidents in the laboratory or workshop. It says, clean your hand and other equipment with detergent powder. Also, rinse and dry all work surfaces and equipment at the end of the work. That is, you are expected to clean your hand. That is, you wash your hand with detergents like Omo or any detergent that you could get. Make sure it's a detergent powder. Then you make sure that you rinse the surfaces, that is the worktop of the workshop. Point number 8, if you spill acid or any other corrosive chemicals on your skin or clothes, wash the affected area with large amounts of water. Point number 9, at the end of the laboratory session, make sure A. Main gas outlet valve is shut off. B. The water is turned off. C. Desktop floor area and sink are clean. D. All equipment is cool, clean and well arranged. Point number 10. Anytime chemicals or heat glassware are used, you should wear laboratory goggles. That is, there are some goggles like your spectacles that you wear to outings or you wear on a sunny day. There is also a particular goggles that is designed for a laboratory or workshop to use. So you can go to purchase those goggles and use them while you are in the laboratory. Contact lenses should not be worn in this case. That is, the kind of glasses you wear to ceremony should not be used in the laboratory or workshop. Point number 11, dress properly during a laboratory activity. You are advised to wear apron or laboratory coat. Shoes must completely cover the foot. You are expected to wear apron or laboratory coat. Then you make sure that the shoes you are putting on covers the foot, that is the whole foot. Point number 13, wear hand glove to protect your hands. You make sure that you wear hand gloves so as to protect your hands. Point number 14, caps and helmets should be worn to prevent head injury. That is, you have to put on a kind of head helmet so as to avoid injury on your head. Point number 15, wash your hands with soap and water after work. So after you are done with everything in the workshop, you make sure that you wash your hand with soap and water. Thank you. Lastly, for today, we'll be looking into the assignment. So as stated in this video, there is an assignment attached to this lesson, so endeavor to make sure you do everything in the assignment and you can research more on how to get better. Thank you. God bless you, and this is the end of our video session on the subject basic science and technology, and I hope you have a great lesson time. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for the next lesson or class, and make sure you press the subscribe button. Thank you.